Imagine a war so brutal that people stopped seeing each other as human. A war where entire villages vanished, not because of one battle, but because survival itself became a crime against humanity. Where soldiers didn't just fight enemies, they hunted civilians. Where parents abandoned children, and starvation drove people to unthinkable acts. Before we dive into the main story, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell notification button for more interesting video like this. This wasn't one battle. This wasn't one country. This was Europe collapsing into chaos for 30 years straight. And the most terrifying part? It didn't start as a war for power. It started as a war over belief. But what it became turned ordinary humans into something far darker. The spark that ignited Europe, 1618. Our story begins in the heart of Europe, in the Kingdom of Bohemia, part of the powerful Holy Roman Empire. Religious tension had been building for decades. On one side, Catholics. On the other, Protestants. And when Protestant nobles felt their religious freedom was under threat, they did something shocking. In 1618, they threw two imperial officials out of a castle window. This event, known as the Defenestration of Prague, was the spark that ignited the 30 Years' War. At first, it looked like a local rebellion. But Europe was a powder keg, and this was the match. What started in Bohemia quickly spread. Powerful rulers across Europe began choosing sides. Catholic powers like Spain and Austria. Protestant states like Sweden and parts of Germany. Soon, this wasn't just a religious war. It became a battle for dominance over Europe. One of the key figures to emerge was Gustavus Adolphus. A brilliant military strategist, he led Sweden into the war, transforming it with modern tactics and brutal efficiency. But even brilliance couldn't control what the war was becoming. War without rules. As the conflict dragged on, something changed. Armies stopped fighting just armies. They started targeting civilians. Villages were burned. Crops destroyed. Food stolen. But because soldiers weren't always paid, they survived by looting everything in their path. This created a horrifying cycle. No food, starvation, desperation, brutality. Entire regions of Germany were left in ruins. In some areas, up to 40% of the population died. This is where the war takes its darkest turn. Eyewitness accounts describe horrors that are difficult to imagine. People eating grass, animals, even worse. Families abandoning each other to survive. Bands of soldiers torturing civilians for hidden food. Law and order collapsed. Morality collapsed. Humanity collapsed. This wasn't just war anymore. It was survival at any cost. Fear became the most powerful weapon. No one trusted anyone. Neighbors betrayed neighbors. Communities turned on themselves. The war didn't just destroy land. It destroyed the human mind. Children grew up knowing only violence. Generations were shaped by trauma. And the longer it continued, the harder it became to stop. The deadliest consequences. By the time the war reached its peak, millions were dead. Entire cities were abandoned. Economies collapsed. Germany, in particular, was devastated beyond recognition. Some historians estimate between 4 to 8 million people died. Not just from battle, but from hunger, disease, and chaos. Or just the beginning. 1648. After 30 years of destruction, peace finally came. Through a series of agreements known as the Peace of Westphalia. This marked a turning point in history. It ended large-scale religious wars in Europe. It introduced the idea of sovereign nations. It reshaped the political map forever. But peace didn't erase the scars. Here's the part history doesn't always tell you. The 30 Years' War didn't just change borders. It changed what humans were capable of becoming. Because when survival replaces morality, when fear replaces trust, when war lasts long enough, anyone can become a monster. So the question is, was this just a war of religion and power, or a warning about what happens when society itself collapses? And if it happened once, what's stopping it from happening again? For more videos like this, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.